The sound of Herefordshire and Worcestershire.
Together, we can make a difference. BBC
Hereford and Worcester.
And now to our first guest of the afternoon. And this is X Factor winner Sam Bailey. And she's back with us and with a cover of the Stevie Nicks song,
Like the wide-winged dove sings a song.
The Brilliant Edge of 17.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song. Sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
So this to be released later on.
Days go by.
In this month, she's also, in fact, she's back. She's recording a lot. She's releasing a lot.
I'll
And
begin again.
she's also lined up to play, or currently playing, Mrs. Potts
Mattered.
in Disney's Beauty and the Beast on stage.
He was no more.
Well, we talked and, well, heard about the new music and currently what she's doing and the theatre as well. And talked actually as she was in the studio laying down more tracks, a place she likes to be very much.
Yes, it's very much my happy place. This particular studio, Metropolis, was where I recorded Skyscraper, which was my number one single all those years ago. So it's good to be back. There's a lot of memories here, so it's nice to be back in the building.
That's good. How much say do you have on what happens, and how forensic are you with the buttons and the sound and the mix when it's all being laid down? How involved are you, I suppose, is the question.
Well, I'm currently in the studio now and recording a song that means quite a lot to me. I can't give too much away, but so yeah, I think the guys are giving me a little bit of rein on what I want and the sound that I want. So I feel quite important in there because I've already laid down all my vocals. So I'm just sort of waiting to hear what they're doing. They're literally my backing vocalists. There's 4 of them in there doing some recording at the minute. So it sounds really cool.
Do you stand behind the glass and pace up and down, looking all demanding and superstarish?
Oh, I'm just showing my thumbs and go, yeah, you're doing great. It sounds great.
That's great. And the new song, I mean, it's for those, just a reminder of you, Sam, when we first met. I can't believe it's nearly 10 years ago, the 2013 winner of the X Factor.
Long time ago, yeah.
It really has. And the bump tells me and tells all of us that you return. How long have you been away?
Well, gosh, I don't think I've ever been away, really. I've just not been like a massive pop star, which I never wanted in the first place, you know. I just wanted to sort of do what I love. And you know, I'm currently in a musical. I'm currently touring the UK in a Disney musical. So as well as doing that, I'm bringing out music and you know, providing for my family, which is kind of, you know, all I ever wanted really was to be able to do that. So I'm very lucky.
You are, and some might question, why would you go on the X Factor if you didn't want to be a pop star? What was the idea there?
Well, if I'm completely honest, I wanted a new kitchen and an extension on my house. This is the God's honest truth. And I kind of pretty much went in just to get 5 minutes of fame so that when I went down the Dog and Duck on a Friday night to sing, I could get an extra 50 quid. And then I ended up winning. So I've got my nice extension, my nice new kitchen, and I'm pretty much happy. So
that's so good. And now I guess a part of television and music history with the show not coming back. So you've now that's I don't know, maybe how do you feel about it not coming back? Do you think that we're tired now of the way a star is found in that format and we're looking for the next thing?
Yeah, do you know what? I think it just did need a bit of revamping. I'm a big believer in never bite the hand that feeds you, and that show gave me something that I wanted, and that was money and the opportunity to be able to go on nice holidays and make a bit of a name for myself. So I do feel like, you know, I owe it to the X Factor to be nice about, you know, the show and everything. But I personally think, you know, there's a lot of artists out there that are amazing songwriters. And I would have loved to have seen Songwriting Week on the X Factor, where they got given the opportunity to write a song with known artists and then perform it and release it on the night they perform it, and just to see it. But then it puts them on the ladder as well, to be able to record a hit, you know, record a song. There's some amazing songwriters out there, and like, they might not be the best singers in the world, but, you know, there could have been loads of little twists and turns that the show could have taken, and I generally believe that it's not going to go away forever. I do reckon, like most pop acts and stuff, they'll make a reunion of some sort or do something. I'll probably be about 75 by then, but it'll just be nice, to be able to revisit it, because it's made a lot of people who they are, and I do hope that the artists that actually have made a name for themselves off the back of the X Factor don't forget where they come from, like myself. I'll never slate the show. There might have been some controversy on the show or some things that went on, but I'll never slate it, ever.
It's given her a platform, a profile, a career perhaps too. And I like her honesty. She went on to the show because she wanted to do up a kitchen. Good on her, and I suspect she's done up much more of the house. In fact, there's probably money there for an extension too. At least there will be after this album and her tour as Mrs. Potts in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, which comes to the Hippodrome in Birmingham next month. More from Sam Bailey to come. Andrew Easton in the afternoon.
BBC Hereford and Worcester.
Make a difference.
As far as today's interview goes, talking to former X Factor winner, pop star in her own right, actress too, Sam Bailey.
Just like the white-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And she's here with Stevie Nicks' Edge of 17. That's her
Sings a song, sounds like
newest offering,
ooh,
released this month.
ooh. And the days go by like a strand in the wind.
And the first of, many more to follow, actually. We spoke whilst she was in the studio, and as our conversation continued, but I asked, why this song?
So I was brought up on a lot of this sort of music, Fleetwood Mac. I was brought up on Supertramp, Queen, Phil Collins, Dire Straits, or you name it. And to get given the opportunity to record a song like this was just insane. I was so amazed by, her sound, Fleetwood Mac's sound. I'm not trying to do a copy of Stevie Nicks. I'm trying to celebrate her music and who they were, and it's such a wonderful song, and it's just edgy, and that's what I love about it. And how it was recorded was in a room with the musicians in the room. It was all kind of in a circle, and it was kind of recorded like a live kind of feel, because I come from a family of drummers, I come from a family of musicians, so we was always having that yellow sticker that said keep music live back in the day. So I wanted to have that feel so that when you go and perform it somewhere, you got exactly the same as what you got off the track, rather than, when you get some artists and you hear their track on, the charts on the radio on Friday or whatever, and, when you hear them live, they don't sound anything like it. And it's like, I don't want that. I want people to hear that rawness in my vocal so that when they hear me live, they know exactly what they're paying for.
So is this the start then of something bigger? As you mentioned that you're in the studio now doing something you can't tell us about. So is this the first piece of a jigsaw in the current puzzle?
A little bit. So obviously my dad was a massive, inspiration for me. And he sadly passed away in 2008. And I wanted to be able to create some sort of a catalogue of songs that reminds me of my dad, that inspired me, that reminds me of my growing up. And we had these speakers took up half our front room when we were kids, that my dad loved these speakers. They were pride and joy, and the music that used to come out of them was amazing. And a lot of them were like male artists, like the Eagles, Queen, Phil Collins, Chicago, Supertramp, all these amazing artists. I've already recorded a Supertramp song because I did Lord Is It Mine on my first album. So I really want to be able to sort of create something so that I can eventually maybe go out on tour and do a full rock show that's like an inspirational show that's telling a story of my childhood and the stuff that I was brought up listening to. But they're all male vocals, because I don't think there's any female artists that have actually gone out and actually done a tour that's solely on those artists. They've both, sang stuff from Heart or, like Bonnie Tyler, but I want to just do all the male. I mean, obviously I've had to change the key to them because I've not got that low voice, but I want to be able to go out on stage and show that rawness in my voice, that live feel, and be able to just kick seven bells out of an amazing track on stage and rock out, basically.
Well,
so yeah, that's an idea.
We'll be queued up to see that, because that sounds good. Meantime, you mentioned the theatre project. I would like to finish just mentioning, because I've double-checked the dates whilst we've been talking. And I'm delighted to say that you're Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast, right?
I am, yes.
Wonderful,
Disney, yes.
Wonderful part. And wow, what a song. You get to sing the song, don't you?
I get to sing the song, yes.
Just wonderful. And you're at the Birmingham Hippodrome in March, so you're just up the road from us. Yeah.
So we're literally, we've got a couple of weeks left in Sunderland and then a week off, and then we hit Birmingham, and we're there for about a month, and then we go on to Manchester for 10 weeks, and then we go to London, to the London Palladium for 14 weeks. So, yes, very, very excited indeed. My West End debut in a musical is going to be playing Mrs. Potts for Disney. So, yeah, it's going to be amazing.
It is. Sam Bailey, former X Factor star, Edge of 17. Her version of the Stevie Nicks song is out now. Details from her own website, sambailey.com. And the show as well. Sorry, Sam, I was just checking. You could hear me, couldn't you? sam-bailey.com. I knew there was something extra. And she opens in Beauty and the Beast. She is Mrs. Potts. Off to the cupboard with you now, Chip. It says what Angela Lansbury says, is it not? And that's from the 3rd of March. In fact, it's for the pretty much all of March. If you fancy going to see it, I think I do. Should we go together? You can drive.
BBC Hereford and Worcester.
Make a difference.